Good morning and welcome to Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Dene, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Hoss. Charlie,
Good morning. How are you?
Hoss,
Yeah, Hoss. Yeah, I'm doing well.
how are you?
I'm doing great. We had a little, we're still in winter. We're kind of limping through a little bit of snow here and there, but the nice thing is, going out walking with my dog Doug, who's one of the mascots. So we got to get your pups up there as a mascots as well.
Yes.
And then
they stop tearing up our couches, then they'll be right now. They're grounded.
And then people have probably seen I call him my grand pup, but Abby's dog, Philly.
Yeah.
But it's nice. You can tell like the angle of the sun. It's hitting you in the face. It feels good. We are definitely trending towards spring.
We had a couple of hockey games this week.
Yeah.
And one of the hockey games we played in the afternoon, and we got out of the game and it was light out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that to me was the first time that it hit.
Right.
That says, okay, it's now that it's light past 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Spring is coming.
It's feeling good. And you're right. Same thing. I was out last night and like 5:20, I could still be outside, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. It was nice out today, but weather is here again.
Yeah. Weather is here. We're going to have, it's still the season of yuck, and hopefully we'll be in a position where maybe another couple weeks and then we can
dealt with some yesterday.
Yeah.
Dealing with some tomorrow.
Absolutely. Kind of deal with what we need to deal with. I'm escaping a little bit for vacation, which will be nice. So hoping to get to the land of the sun. So,
I'm not going to the land of the sun. I'm going to the land of the French.
Yeah, you are. Well, you're doing good stuff. You're doing history.
Yeah.
So you're doing history. You're doing.
I am.
It's going to be awesome.
I'll share a little bit. I'm going to meet my daughter in France.
Yeah.
And we're going to Paris. We have done that before, but we're going to Normandy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you're a history person.
Yeah.
I am not as much of a history person. All my friends seem to be history people, but
yeah,
I am so geeked up to go to Normandy. Just from what I read about, and we obviously been reading a lot about it.
Sure.
The solemnness of it,
yeah,
where the cemetery and the beach, very solemn,
yeah,
but the villages are really happening, and it's kind of upbeat.
You'll have a good time.
So
there.
it's we're looking forward.
Are you have you considered, or are you planning a private tour, or are you just this time just going to be like take it in yourself?
Well, my son-in-law is
he's a history guy.
He's a history guy.
Of course
and he's just going to be our
so
tour
he'll
guide.
be your tour guide.
He'll be our tour guide.
Be the best tour guide ever.
So looking forward to it.
Good.
All right, Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro. Can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar. And, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yummyshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% off at Gingy Box. Now you can watch our show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and we thank the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for bringing us those feeds, and also on social media.
Yep, we're on X, we're on Instagram, and of course, give us a like, give us a follow, and we love to interact with our listeners.
We had a few people comment. I think it was on the Facebook feed last week about, I forget what it was. They were fired up about something.
Yep.
And I do forget what that was. But.
Yeah, and we also appreciate people calling in. Like last week, Mike from Concord called in and offered some. We talked a little bit about Cooperstown last week. So feel free to call into our show.
Yeah, reach us on Facebook or X or wherever. All right, opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike and the Hoss penalty box during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Did you see this? And you probably saw this, but they have a wing challenge down at the Back Bay Boathouse. On Wednesday nights, they have a wing challenge, and
I was there last night.
Okay, so you got to witness it in person.
I did. I was there when
you were there on Wednesday night. Okay,
and, I was there. I did not participate in the challenge.
No, I understand that, but 55 wings, and it's funny because the older I get, like it was done by a high school kid, which is great. Maybe in high school I could have done it, but now I don't even know, Mike, if I could get through 20 wings, let alone but 55 wings. That's quite the feat.
I was proud of myself last night. I just went with 12. I'm usually 18, but last night was just 12. Yeah.
Okay, 12. And they're delicious wings. But you can enter the challenge, and what do you get? You get like a T-shirt,
and
then you get some
$25
gift card and social media, postings and
stuff. You first or me?
God, you can. I like this.
This
blows my mind.
I double checked this to make sure it wasn't written by the Onion. I vetted this a couple times.
Yeah.
I came across my feed. The Phillies, the Philadelphia Phillies, have signed an 11-year-old Venezuelan shortstop
Yeah.
to a $1.5 million pre-agreement.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
He's not eligible for the minors until 2031.
2031.
So he's got
Yeah.
another 5 years before he's eligible for the minors.
Yep.
He's 11 years old. And again, I have read this a couple times.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're like, is this really true?
this can't be. I said, this can't be true. 11 years old. There's no way that this is happening. Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
It is happening. The Philadelphia Phillies. Now, apparently, the Phillies are not the only ones that are doing this.
Right.
Other teams, but nobody has promised $1.5 million to an 11-year-old.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
So my immediate thoughts.
Yeah.
And I had put this down in our notes. What happened to the international draft? Why is that? Why can they do this when there's an international, when there's a baseball draft, period?
There is a baseball draft. Yeah.
And so why this can happen, and I don't get it. How can you tell how someone is going to be before puberty?
Right.
I mean, these are, if you go into the little league stars that play in the very,
World
very,
Series,
very few of them actually make it to the majors. These are supposedly the best in the country.
Can I make a quick comment about this? Because it pertains to us. So, we obviously coached a lot of baseball, and we coached 9, 10, 11 years old, all the way up to middle school and, high school kids and stuff. We have seen just in our local area, the best baseball player ever at 11 and 12 years old. This is like the greatest, striking everyone out. Didn't even make the high school team. Like they fizzle out, like they disappear. Like just because someone's 12 and has like some 12-year-olds have peaked, and other kids have not caught up. You hit puberty, they haven't grown, they haven't, gotten stronger, become better players. So an 11-year-old, you're giving him $1.5 million to
11.
In 2 years, this kid could be out of the game.
He's in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Fifth grade.
I don't get it.
So I didn't get it. I mean, and this the other part of this is that now every little league dad is going to be looking in the stands to see where the scouts
Yeah,
are.
where are they? Are the Phillies,
Why aren't they looking at
Phillies
Mike
here?
Mike kid had 3 hits and he had a bunt single last day. They got to be looking
and he
at
stole
him
2
too.
bases.
How can you possibly do this to the game? There are some bigger things that are involved with this when we get into NIL and all those kinds of things, which I'm probably going to talk about later.
Right.
But
like I look at it like this, like you could do this with like horses because you could look at the pedigree. Like if the horses if you had championship, does this 11-year-old have, does he, I mean, I don't know. I'm asking does he have someone that has played in the major leagues, that type of thing. Maybe that, I don't even think it makes sense then, but maybe like if you're going after like Mike Trout's son, maybe, because, there's some genetics there, and you could do that with, but still, even at 11, I'm just saying, like, it's just weird, and like we see this. So let's use like Jason Tatum, for example. Like, we see his son, he's out there.
Deuce. Yeah,
Deuce is out there playing basketball and whatever. But, the Celtics are still not offering Deuce a contract. The colleges are still not offering Deuce a scholarship. And Jason Tatum's his dad.
Tom Brady is the greatest football player, considered the greatest football player, NFL player, whatever.
Sure.
His kids aren't going to the NFL.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Dog, you want to jump in?
Well, you remember in the 1950s or the 1950 Phillies were called the Whiz Kids. Well, now they've signed a Whiz Kid all these years later.
They did.
I mean, I hope it pans out for this kid, but man, 11 years old, you're right. You're going to have every dad now or every mom be like, oh my gosh.
I just kept looking and says, this can't be real. This can't be real. But apparently this is a common practice now that their major league teams are going through these third world countries, for lack of a better word. And
how about we call them developing countries?
Developing countries. Thank you. Okay. Developing countries
and so, we've been to the Dominican, right? And I mean, I never traveled through to see, but they have, for lack of a better term, baseball factories. I wonder if, they said the major league scouts there. So are they looking at, And
I said 5th grade, but
yeah.
Who knows if he's even going to school? You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
you don't know. He might be playing baseball all the time, but he's not developed. He's 11.
Right. So it's wild. My opening take has to do with the Olympics, and we're going to be hearing from Josh Spalding in a little bit. Josh is in Italy for the Winter Olympics. And my question, it's really a question, and I want you guys to pipe in for this, is anyone watching the Winter Olympics? So of course I wanted to get some statistics, and my take is yes, they are, but kind of no. Like 160 million Americans watched the 2022 Winter Olympics across the TV and streaming. Here in 2026, early coverage is up 93% compared to 2022, averaging about 26.5 million viewers the first 7 days. And one night, actually drew 42 million viewers. That's pretty good until you put it in perspective. Check this out. The NFL, the NBA, the NHL, college football, and college basketball, and even the Summer Olympics get way more viewers than the Winter Olympics. Just a typical run-of-the-mill NHL game will get more viewers that evening than the Winter Olympics. And part of this, I'm asking why do most Americans not care about the Winter Olympics? And a lot of it has to do with like us here who live in New Hampshire, like skiing and any winter sport is kind of second nature to us. Ice hockey, that's what we do. We love it. We support it. But then you go to places like Arizona or Florida or Texas, and it's just kind of it's not. We're not, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You're not going skiing, right? Things like that. So that they're thinking maybe that has to do with it.
I have another reason.
Yeah, go ahead, jump in.
They're professional.
Yeah.
They're professional now. And I think that is, you look at the hockey.
You don't have Mike Eruzione or Jim Craig.
You don't have those storylines of these kids that are amateurs that, their dreams for lack, these are professionals. Yeah. I'm going to be able to watch Charlie McAvoy next Thursday when the Bruins hit the ice again.
Yeah. Yeah, or Swayman.
I'm going to be able to watch these guys.
Yeah.
I'm watching this, and it was the same as the Four Nations.
Yeah,
you're basically dealing with the same group of guys, and I think that's taken a little bit of the buzz away from the Olympics. I'm still rooting for the Americans and all that other stuff.
Of course,
but even the skiers and the skaters and they're all professionals now.
Yeah,
there's no amateurs. There's no amateur stories. So I think that
takes away from.
It does. I think it takes
from the Olympics of the past.
The buzz away, and I think that's the reason.
And there's another reason that someone had mentioned about the Summer Olympics is Americans like the Summer Olympics because everyone at some point in their life has run, biked, been in a pool to swim or played basketball or shot a basketball. Like it seems to be like more common.
My daughter, that's what she wanted me to run with a story about. That was that the Summer Olympics are more accessible, to everybody compared to the Winter Olympics, and that the Winter Olympics, you're dealing with your Norways and your ski communities and things like that. Dog,
do you guys blame the IOC for the professionals? Because that's what I do. I'm blaming the IOC. They opened the door for this back in the 90s when they wanted the pros with the dream team with the NBA players to win a gold medal, and that opened the floodgates up to the Winter Olympic Games, which had American or the Team USA and Canada and these other countries other than Russia. Russia was already professional. If you remember in the 1980 Winter Olympics, they were supposed to beat the US like 7-2, and they did, crushed them during an exhibition before it was in Madison Square Garden, a precursor before they met in the Lake Placid Games.
All right. Yeah. So I think, but we're interested in the Olympics.
I love the Olympics, and we
were able to talk to Josh. We taped it, and we talked to Josh this past Thursday.
Yes.
And so he's going to give us our final. This will be our final time that we talk to him.
Yep.
He's got opening ceremonies coming up. He's
closing ceremony.
Sorry, he's got the gold medal game.
Yeah.
For the women, which obviously we know what happens.
Good stuff.
All right, we'll be right back. Oh, welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. As we mentioned, today is Saturday, but we were able to talk to Josh Spalding on
Thursday.
Thursday, and he's still out in Italy covering the Olympics.
Doing his
So
thing.
we'll go to that. All right. Hey, Josh, can you hear us?
Yep, I hear you.
Hi,
Hi,
Josh.
Josh.
How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. I just saw your post. It looks like things are pretty gold for the American women.
That was one heck of a hockey game. Don't know if you guys were able to watch it or not, but it was certainly worthy of a gold medal matchup at the Olympics, without a question.
I was able to watch some of it. I'm looking forward to catching some highlights later today. It is that we were just talking about the Olympics before you came on, Josh, and that to me is really what those Olympics are about. When you get moments like that,
Oh, no, obviously, U.S. Canada women they're the only two teams that have won gold medals since Olympic women's hockey was added to the Olympics in 1998. They're the only two teams, and every single time they've been there, and that's an impressive thought in of itself. The U.S., winning it's their third time. Canada has 5. So, it's really, it's just been such a great battle over the years. And to have someone like Hillary Knight score the game tying goal, become the leading goal scorer in women's Olympic hockey history for the U.S. With that goal. And then, win it in 3-on-3 overtime. 3-on-3 is the best way for overtime, and all hockey games should go to 3-on-3 overtime.
Yeah, agreed.
I
Very
agree.
exciting. Wide open ice.
well, and the men, won yesterday in a 3-on-3.
Yep,
So it's
exactly. It's the same. It's the same deal. It's really that makes it so exciting, and I hope that maybe somewhere along the line someone takes a little bit of note of that and says, hey, that's pretty exciting. Maybe we should consider doing that.
Josh, has that been the dominating story of the past couple of days? The hockey, has that taken off now that they've reached the medal round?
Well, I think really, until the women just won, Thursday, but up until this point, Michaela Schifrin was the big story. That was a huge moment. She winning that slalom gold, first time that she has won the slalom gold since 2014. And that is the longest gap for any alpine skier to win gold in the same event in 2 different Olympics. That is 12 years, which is insane when you think about it. And she became the oldest U.S. woman to ever win an alpine gold medal. And at the same time, she's also the youngest woman to ever win an alpine gold medal for the U.S. when she won that gold back in 2014 in Sochi when she was 18. So, that was and she just dominated the field. That was the largest advantage for any skier. I think I was reading in like at least 10 years or something close to that, because she just absolutely crushed that slalom. And I think after what happened to her in Beijing, and understandably so, she had something to prove, and that proved it without a question. That was just domination, pure domination.
Yeah, that's awesome. Josh, we know that based on what we've been reading, we know that you're in love with the Italian village you're staying in and your hotel room, and you hopefully, it looks like you got a chance to do some skiing there. But what else have you been up to for the past few days?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I've done biathlon a few different times, covering, kind of graduate up there in biathlon. And I've done a little bit of, I did go to a little bit of alpine skiing. I went and saw cross country skiing yesterday. That was about 10 hours on a bus for me, both, 5 hours one way, 5 hours another way. But I really wanted to see Jessie Diggins ski in her last Olympics. Obviously the greatest cross country skier the U.S. has ever had. And she's retiring, so this is her final Olympics. And I wanted to see her ski. And then it just happened that the men made history that yesterday. Ben Ogden, who comes from Vermont, he and his team, Josh Schumacher, won a silver medal in the relay, the first time the U.S. has ever done that. This is the first time the U.S. men have ever won 2 cross-country skiing medals at one Olympics. And that tripled the total they had for medals coming into this Olympics. They had one medal coming into this Olympics, and they've already won two. So it's really it's great. It's a good story too. That they just really those type of things I love seeing. You like seeing things that you don't expect to happen. They happen, and that's pretty cool.
Josh, every time I turn the TV on, it's either moguls or bobsled. Have you been able to get to either one of those? And what is that as far as the spectator sport? Are there people there watching? Moguls, there seem to be people watching, but the bobsled, I don't see anybody because it's just a closed track. How have you been able to get to those things?
Bobsled, I can get to. Yes, I have. I've been. I haven't been to bobsled, but I've been to the track. I saw luge there earlier in the thing. And there's plenty of people there. You just, like you said, there's stands in the finish area, and there's some stands along the way, but for the most part, there's just people watching all along the track. There's not a lot of seating area, I guess.
Josh, is it the same?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Is that just a quick question for you? Is it the same track for bobsled and luge and skeleton? Is it they use the same track?
Yeah, same track. Just they might start at different points depending on the event. There's different start areas, but they use the same track. But yeah, I can't get to two moguls. That's like that's unless I had a private jet or helicopter or going to pay car service to get me there, because it's completely other side of the country. Just like the men's alpine, all the freestyle stuff is on the other side of the country, and it's impossible. This idea of having the Olympics is great for the awesome locations that they have, but it makes it impossible to see everything or to see a lot of things. You can only see certain things because you can only go so far in one day.
Has that tainted it for you?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I get it, and I understand the reasoning why. They don't want people spending billions of dollars to build these massive villages of new facilities that are going to fall apart, or are going to get, aren't going to be able to be supported in the future. They want to use what's existing and what's there, and I get that. And these locations are fantastic. Don't get me wrong; these places are absolutely gorgeous. They're built for these events. Excuse me. They've had these events. They host World Cups. These are places that these athletes know. They've been there before. They know where they're going, and that's great. But just as far as from my point of view, trying to see so many different things, I can't do it, and that's frustrating for me. I guess that's maybe a me problem more so than a somebody else problem. But I think that it's just you have to take it, and I believe the next Winter Olympics are going to be kind of the same thing. They're going to be in the French Alps, and there's going to be some spread out versions of where those things are going to be, and that's something that it's, and particularly with the Winter Olympics, it's something that we're going to expect from now on. I think it's tough. I mean, Salt Lake will be different just because they have all that stuff right there, but it's tough, and it makes it difficult, and the fact that the travel is so difficult has dampened my experience with it. I could live in my hotel room here because it's beautiful where I am and I love it here, but getting to and from Olympic stuff is just not fun.
Josh, you had mentioned when you talked about the opening ceremonies how there were multiple locations, and I know you're going to the closing ceremonies. Are they going to get all the athletes into one location for the closing ceremonies, or are things still going to be spread out?
I do believe that is the plan. There's going to be one closing ceremony. I don't know whether, obviously not all the athletes always make it there, but there is going to be, I believe, just one closing ceremony. It's going to be in Verona, which is kind of cool. It's the historic Verona Arena. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, I believe there's just the ones, and I believe there's just, they're going to try to get everybody in there. So,
Josh, are the athletes accessible to you? Like when you're walking around the villages, or are the athletes walking around those villages also, or are they completely in a separate area?
I don't know that I'd recognize a lot of people just, they try to, but there's definitely videos of them. They all go through, particularly in Cortina, like they're all walking around Cortina. They're enjoying Cortina. They're taking in the sights. Cortina's a beautiful village, and they're taking it all in. They're looking at it. And they're seeing it. I mean, I don't see them necessarily. Me see them, but I'm also not looking really closely at people when I walk by them. I'm just walking and walking. But as far as accessible to the media, they all are. They will go through after their games or their meets or their tests, they'll walk through and they'll talk to whoever they need to talk to or whoever wants to talk to them, and then move on. But yeah, they're all out there. They're enjoying the atmosphere, I would say. And like I said, Cortina's a pretty accessible town. Like the three venues that are in Cortina are relatively close to each other. So, and then the village, they're all living in the same Olympic Village for the most part there. So they can all, take a bus in from the village and just visit the town and walk around. And I'm pretty sure most of them have taken advantage of that.
Oh, that's great, Josh. Well, Josh, when do you come back to the States?
Tuesday. I fly back on Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, so what we'd love to do is at some point, once you get settled, we'd love to have you back on the show, maybe even here in person, and just to kind of debrief all the Olympics and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly type stuff, and then maybe preview your next Olympic adventure.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. Josh, thanks as always for joining us and giving us the Olympic insight. We feel very fortunate that we know you and friends with you, and we certainly appreciate you. So have a great day. Stay safe.
No problem, guys. Hey, have a good one. See ya.
Well, Mike, that segment was brought to you by Bailey's Bubble, New Hampshire Sports. Always sponsored by Bailey's Bubble. Family owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite sauce is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Haas sent you. Thanks again to Josh Spalding of Salmon Press, and we love him. Good guy, and he is our Olympic expert.
He certainly is. No trivia today.
No, not today.
So when we come back from break, we got all kinds of things to talk about. I get to talk about a little golf this time.
I can't wait. That's going to be great.
I'm looking forward. We're going to have a little debate on the golf thing.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. We had mentioned we don't trivia today. One of the very few times we don't have trivia, so we're going to fill the time. We're going to continue a little bit of Olympic talk because you and I have our favorite Olympic sports.
We do Winter Olympics.
Winter Olympic sports, and we
kind of ranked them. And Dog, think about this. I know we forgot to tell you, but if you think about, it has to be top 10, but think about maybe your top 5, Dog, or if you want to come up with 10 Winter Olympic sports, and we can kind of talk about this.
I couldn't come up with 10. I really couldn't come up with 10.
I have to say, I came up with 10, but I was really kind of filling in.
I was filling it.
Yeah.
So
let's take a look at maybe the top 5.
All right. So you want to go first?
I would. Well, yeah. Let's just. I'm going to pick. Let's kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
My number one,
Okay.
and this is based on my favorite stuff. Okay.
Okay.
My number one actually, and don't be making fun of me for this. My number one actually happens to be figure skating.
Why would I make fun of you?
I don't know, because that's sometimes you like to do that. I like figure skating. I think it's great. I think I like the men's figure skating. I like the women's. I like it all. I like the dancing couples. I just there's something about it, because I'm not a very good ice skater. I know that you are, but the things that they do on ice, I can't even do on land. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do what they're doing, and their triple lutzes and all these things.
No.
And it's amazing. They're amazing athletes, and I'm just blown away by figure skaters.
I like figure skating. I'm not against figure skating. I like figure skating when there's drama going on with the figure skaters.
You want me to bash your knee, or like
Because that's when figure skating really, really gets going, when there's drama. And for some reason, drama follows that sport. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, you want me to start yelling, "Why me? Why me?"
Whatever. Just bring the drama on for that. I mean, there's movies made,
Yeah.
figure skating has great movies.
Yeah.
You get
What
Blades,
was I? So
Blades
Blades
of
of Glory.
You
Blades
got-
of Glory is a great movie.
The Cutting Edge, which
Yeah.
is a good ex-hockey player turned into
I
a
mean, you're
figure
living
skater.
in the past. Was it Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding? That whole thing.
Yes.
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 Jeff
I mean,
Gillooly, was that one of the names?
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, you could say that stuff put figure skating on the map.
Maybe.
I
I mean, I would think like Dorothy Hamill. Let's go back before that. That type of stuff.
I mean,
you know?
there's incredible
Yeah.
Donna Bayul.
Oh my gosh.
There's another
what
one.
an incredible.
I mean, I can name
Yeah.
figure skaters.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's the drama. Dog wants to jump in on this. I know he's dying to.
Save the dancing for Dancing with the Stars for one, okay? And also,
Oh.
it's not a sport. It's only called
I love
a sport on a hockey rink. That's it.
My number one, and I put them together. I put ice hockey,
Okay.
men's and women's ice hockey.
Yeah.
I just put it that. And on Thursday we were able to talk to Josh. We just played the tape from that.
Yeah.
We were able to get him right after the women won the gold
The
medal.
women in
And-
overtime.
And
Yeah.
that to me, and you see that the Dog had put the pictures up on the screen,
Sure.
the excitement. You win a gold, I guess. And our opening take was that there's a little bit of a little shine off it because they're professionals. But on the women's
It's
side,
a little different.
it is a little different.
They don't have
professional-
an NHL. I mean,
No,
they do
they
have a
do.
professional, but it's not at the level
Yeah,
of the
it's
NHL.
not that. The gold medal is probably still the highest achievement. Where I'm
Yeah.
not sure if on the NHL side or the men's side that the gold medal's ahead of the
Yeah.
Stanley Cup.
Right. If Charlie McAvoy wins the gold medal, awesome. Stanley Cup, awesomer.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I have ice hockey as my my number one. Dog, what's your number one?
My number one is probably because hockey's hockey. I love it during the Olympics, but you know what? I think speed skating.
Oh,
I like speed skating a lot. And I like the slalom like anyone else, but the speed skating, there's
Yeah.
always stars that are always born there as well, like Apollo Anton Ono. Remember back in 2000?
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love the speed skating. They are going so fast. You got to be psycho to go that fast, just like when you're
Yeah.
doing downhill skiing. There's got to be something going on in there, not Copus Mentis that's going on, if you're going downhill skiing, but speed skating too. You're Usain Bolt, but with skates.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Dog. When you watch speed skating, and you're right, I do like speed skating. Is it like when you watch NASCAR? Are you waiting for the crash? Are you waiting for the wipeout? Are you waiting for the edge to slip out and then they fly, 100 miles an hour to the side?
Oh, no. I guess I don't watch NASCAR for the crash either. I don't like the crashes. In fact,
Really?
I like a 1 hour, 45-minute baseball game. I want like an hour, 45, 2 hour NASCAR without any issues. Of course,
No
that's never
issues.
gonna happen. I get that because you're going so fast. No, I love it when they take the turn. It's just,
Yeah.
it takes my breath away because they're so fast and doing it. How are you doing that? I can't do that. You can.
Incredible.
You're
Have you
amazing.
Have
Yes.
you watched the team speed skating
Yeah.
where,
Oh,
where
yeah.
they're going, where it used to be, remember they used to like take turns going in front. Now
Yeah.
that science has taken over.
Yes.
And so they stay
They
in
know
they
exactly
stay in their
where they're
group
supposed to be.
and
Yeah.
they're completely in sync with one another.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. No, I'm speed skating's on my list. What's your number 2?
Well, my number 2 would be hockey. We can lump it
Okay.
together: men's hockey and women's
All right.
hockey.
I went with downhill skiing.
Okay.
The names, for some reason,
Yeah.
you're always aware of the Michaela Schifrins,
Lindsey Vonn.
Lindsey Vonns.
Yeah.
You're always aware of the names that are in downhill skiing. It's especially if you follow anything in Europe, the European names.
Yeah.
Are it's such a huge sport there. So I like that. I like the speed.
What was it? So the name that comes to my head, sorry. Was it help me out, dog, or even you, Mike? Was it Klaus von Bülow? Is that a skier? Am I making that up?
A German,
Or is that
German general?
or is that a serial killer? What is it? Give me a skier, dog. Maybe from the old
about one
days,
from
like
New
the
Hampshire?
80s. Well, Bodie Miller.
Thank
Come on,
you.
I'm getting
There you
Bodie
go.
Miller, no problem. Yeah.
Kurt
So-
Heiden?
Yeah.
Maybe Klaus von Bülow killed his wife. Maybe I'm mixing things up.
That's all right. So I like the downhill skiing. Dog, what's your number 2?
Mine is slalom.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of. Oh, yeah, that's good
Did
stuff.
you catch? It was the giant slalom. I think it was the giant slalom. The guy that ran over the flag.
Yes,
They cut him in the
caught
groin.
him in the groin.
And,
Yeah,
they had the sound on.
Yeah.
And the noise he made.
Yeah.
And if you're a man, you know what I'm talking about.
I got the name, guys. I got the name. Here's the name. It wasn't close to anything. Jean-Claude Keely, right? Jean-Claude Keely. I'm going to dog. Dog's like,
yeah, Jean-Claude Keely. Yeah.
yeah, okay, I remember that. All right, there we go.
So no, I
Keely.
think slalom is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right. What's your 3?
My third, well, it's still part of skiing, but it's the moguls. That stuff's legit. You see the moguls, and then they do the jump, and it's just you can do a flip, whatever, all that stuff, all the things that I dream of being able to do that I can't do. I just love it. And then I always think about how long are their knees going to last. It's
Yeah.
just incredible that they are able to do that.
Yeah. It
The
almost,
flexibility.
the flexibility, but the shock that you
Yeah.
mentioned the knees and the hips and everything.
Yeah.
They must stretch a lot out.
They must stretch a lot, but
I don't know.
that's fun to watch.
I like the snowcross, the snowboard racing.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy that. I love the one-on-one competition.
Yeah.
And those guys are so good. And snowboarding is, I snowboarded when I was younger, and
Oh, you
I had
did?
a lot of. I did.
You
I was.
snowboarded?
I was actually an instructor, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I
believe
wouldn't, I
you.
wouldn't dare get on there now.
Yeah.
Everything would break.
No, I was going to say we're too old. for
No,
that.
no chance. But I like the snowboard racing. I think that's a lot of fun to watch, and that's a relatively new sport for
Yeah.
the Winter Olympics.
It's exciting. Dog, what's yours?
Mine is ski mountaineering.
Yes.
Just the amount of cardio and your legs. You've got to be in such tip-top shape because you're yeeting up there. Oh,
Yeah.
you got to
And I
work
have
out.
skimo. Yeah. I have skimo on my list, but let's do one more.
One more?
What do you got? Yeah.
I've got bobsled.
Yeah.
I've got bobsled on there. I actually get into the when they do the 4-man bobsled.
Yes.
The
and the-
precision about getting on the
This
bobsled.
thing-
It's
I
all
mean,
about getting
it's
on
about-
the bobsled.
Yeah. If you that's where you win it.
That's right.
Is getting on the bobsled and then steering it. But I agree. Bobsled for me would be. I agree. That would probably be my. What are we at? 4th, whatever.
Yeah.
But and you go back to the Jamaican bobsled team and
Yeah,
and
Cool
cool
Runnings.
runnings. But I'm just saying that that really kind of got people excited about it. But you're right. Seeing the finesse of how they do it, and it's incredible. I mean, that sprint, pushing that, and then hopping in.
Every single move is choreographed getting into that thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, it was on the news at the beginning of the Olympics because those 4 guys fell off.
Yeah.
They couldn't get on.
Yeah.
And it's just, you can't get on the sled. It's not easy to get on a sled.
Oh,
And so, especially
Yeah.
when you're flying fast, and every 100th of a second counts.
counts. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Dog, what's your 4th?
Curling.
Oh,
Curling's actually on my list. But curling, yeah. Dog, here's a question for you. Curling.
Yes.
Are they athletes?
Yes, they are.
Okay. All right. Which kind of
They are.
continues to
Again,
build
the way you should
continues to
push
build
her
my
up.
case for
Yeah, I
competitive
hear that.
eating.
no, it doesn't build your case for competitive eating. It goes against people are not curling in their everyday life.
How do you know?
I mean, just a general consensus. I don't think people. are out there in the
I
street
actually
curling.
sweep my floor every day. I sweep my classroom every night.
Yeah, but you're not pushing rocks across it.
Here I am. I'm
You're not-
sweeping.
oh, stones.
I'm
Sorry,
creating
it's
it's a stone. It's a stone.
It's a stone.
And I'm creating friction.
But you're not pushing stone across.
I know.
You're not. So it's not.
I'm not
It's not
anti-curling. I'm
something-
just asking.
It's
I
not
just
something you do in every life. So it's a sport.
I don't know.
Did you see the uproar about the cheating thing?
Oh,
Well, we talked
absolutely.
about it last week.
I don't want. I'm not trying to downplay curling. I think curling's great. But go ahead, talk about that.
Well, it's just he gave it a little push after he let
He was
go.
the little finger. You
The
could
little-
see the finger.
Little finger.
Yeah, you could see it.
And if you're on Facebook Live, you can see me doing it.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, there were F-bombs dropped. It was crazy. And I got a good buddy from high school that has been curling for a long time. They are out in California and they do it. He and his partner, and they love it and have fun. And I think it's great. I think it's awesome. It's definitely a sport that is on the rise here in the United States. More people are doing it, and I think it's accessible for anyone, any body shape, any body type can go out there and enjoy it. Like, I can't go out and ski moguls, right?
No.
Like, no, but I could learn how to curl. I may not be good at it, but it's something I could participate in.
It interests me that the hockey rinks now, all the hockey rinks have curling circles on them. There's curling clubs. And if you go by our rink, and when it's time to curl, the parking lot's packed. There's a lot of people
are
doing this. It is
all ages.
Sport.
Yeah.
So
That's
all
good.
right. When we come back from break, we're going to do some Celtics talk. We're going to do some golf talk, and maybe we're going to get a little bit of Red Sox in. But I'm pretty excited for Red Sox season now.
Me too.
All right. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss of the Pulse of New Hampshire. Our fourth and final segment is brought to you by Maine Love Water.
We love New Hampshire, Mike, but let's be honest. Maine water just hits different. Maine Love Water and seltzers are sourced from pristine Maine water, and they're a sponsor of our show because we actually love it. If you're reaching for canned water or seltzer, give Maine Love a try.
All right. I want to talk golf for a second.
Yeah.
Because I know we touched about it. I think I had an opening take about the guys coming back from
Live and PGA.
And, since then they've played a couple tournaments. Scotty Scheffler has been in the, at the top of the leaderboard, if not winning. He's the number one player in the world. And so there's a lot of buzz there. And then Tiger the other day, they asked him, they said, are you going to play the Masters? He says, I'm not saying no. He left that door open. And now Tiger in the last year, he had, you go by the last 5 years, he's had like 6 back surgeries, a couple knee surgeries. He's not the same player that he was, but he's still the number one draw in golf.
Right.
And now that he's saying that maybe I can play, it brought me around to, well, if there was golf carts allowed, Tiger would be playing.
Interesting.
And this has been a debate forever on the PGA Tour about allowing golf carts. If you remember, I forget his name, Casey Reed. He was the disabled golfer that they filed a lawsuit, and he was able to. They allowed him to use a golf cart.
Through Americans with Disabilities Act.
Right.
He was able to do that. Sure.
And at the time when I was younger, I used to walk all the time. I ride in the cart a lot more now than I.
Oh, you get a cart? I had no. Honestly, I didn't have any. I thought you always walked.
I did, and then I had plantar fasciitis, blah blah.
Oh, okay.
And so I started getting a cart a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I was always on the side that the PGA Tour should be no carts. It should be more of a physical drain.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
They don't carry their clubs, right? Their caddy carries their clubs.
Correct.
So they're just walking.
They're just walking.
Okay.
But, Tiger's mentioned, before, and I've never been down there, but Augusta National, where they play the Masters, is an incredibly hilly course. You don't see it on TV, but friends of mine have gone down there, and they said, you can't believe the hills.
Okay. So it's demanding.
And Tiger has mentioned that it's the hills that are the problem.
Casey Martin.
What's that?
Casey Martin.
Casey Martin. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
As a Casey. I'm rethinking this. I'm rethinking that right now golf, I think the PGA Tour is on an upswing with Liv shaking a little bit right now, and players starting to leave. Tiger's talking about playing. Tiger's not 50 yet. He's still, I want to say he's 48. He's got a couple more years. Boy, the tour would get a humongous boost if Tiger could play 20 tournaments a year.
Yeah.
He can't play 20 tournaments a year walking. His body doesn't allow it anymore. It's too beat up. But he could if he was playing, if he's in a cart, if they allowed a cart.
Okay.
Maybe it's time. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see carts out there. But
do you know where other people, like the league itself, where they kind of stand? We know that they're not allowed now. But is there more? Are there more people saying let's investigate this?
Well, it brings to my point. Is Tiger big enough of a draw? Casey Martin was not a big draw. He was an amateur golfer at the time who turned pro. He was very good.
Sure,
but it was not the draw. Now you're talking the number one draw in golf.
Yeah,
Tiger's still the number one draw. If Tiger was in contention on a Sunday, ratings would go through the roof.
Yeah,
more than Scheffler, more than McIlroy. If Tiger was in contention on Sunday at the Hoover Vacuum Tournament of North Carolina, people would be watching because it's Tiger.
Yeah.
Is it in the best interest of the PGA Tour to make an exemption for Tiger Woods, arguably the top 2 or 3 golfer of all time?
Well, I say if you make an exemption, you just make the exemption for everyone. Just allow people to, if they choose to use a cart, use a cart. Not everybody's going to use a cart.
I don't know. I watched the senior tour, and I think it takes a little bit away watching all these guys on carts. But I think should they allow an exemption?
Yeah, but I think I have a hard time with this because Casey Martin was disabled. Yes, make an exemption for him. Tiger Woods is not disabled because he was born that way. He was involved in accidents and stuff happened, right? So
still disabled.
No, I guess I get that. I guess he is still disabled. I don't know. I think if you're going to make an exemption, either everybody gets it or everybody doesn't. So what I'm saying is allow carts. So that Tiger can have a cart. I'm okay with that. I want to see Tiger play golf. But if Mike Denay is in the PGA Tour and he wants to use a cart, you can use a cart.
Maybe they just make it more accessible for players that need a cart.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to prove you need a cart.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But
maybe.
Again, Joe Schmo off the street, I don't want to see him play golf in a cart necessarily on the PGA Tour. I want to see somebody like Tiger Woods or McIlroy, or I'm going to go back a little bit, but I would have loved to seen Jack Nicklaus play 10 more years on the tour.
Yeah.
If he was allowed to use a cart, probably would have.
But I mean, the other thing with the cart too is, right, you can, so you play with a partner, right? So if we're partners, then we're riding in the same cart together. Your clubs are on the back, my clubs are on the back. Like even
But
in
that's
the PGA,
that's not on the PGA Tour. They each get their own.
no, I understand, but I'm just saying, like, if we wanted to kind of not have a fleet of golf carts,
Well,
yeah, I'm just
yeah.
trying to clean it up for
I'm
you, Mike.
spitballing this, and I just
Yeah.
saw the Tiger might be playing, and I was thinking, geez, and it just came to mind. Maybe Tiger should be the exception. Maybe that's the bellwether that makes carts happen,
Maybe.
because you need Tiger. The PGA
Yeah.
Tour needs Tiger, and they're doing. I think that they're on the precipice of a boom.
Yeah, if you get Tiger.
If you get because of those live golfers coming back and all that stuff that's happening, plus Scheffler, McIlroy, all these guys, and now you bring Tiger into the mix again. It
Be
could
good
be
to see.
huge. Dog, what do you think? Carts on tour?
I think it will happen at some point. I just don't know if it's going to be within the next 2 years or so. I think, although, guys, you said golf's in this big boom, might as well. Tiger Woods is the exemption of all exemptions if you think about it.
Good
I don't
point.
know. Speaking of golf, thank you to Kingswood Golf Club for being one of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
And you can catch the Sand Trap restaurant too.
Yeah.
They have great meals, great
Great food,
specials.
and they do a lot of stuff with around sports.
Yep.
They got great TVs there. You can go and watch all the sports you want to watch.
Yep.
Sandtrap. Thank you, Sandtrap.
Real quick Celtics moment before we say goodbye.
Yeah, so the Celtics have returned to action after the All-Star break, which is great. A couple things, if you look at the first half of the Celtics, offensive rating, they're second in the NBA, Mike. The overall team rating, they're in the top 3 in the NBA. Points allowed, second fewest in the league. Boston really has become half-court, defense first, efficiency driven. Check this out. The drama. We have the drama of the Tatum return really has become annoying. We talked a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
I want to ask a question. Is he coming back?
We still don't know. But
Do you think we don't know?
He's trending that way.
Do you think he's just creating drama?
I think he's
creating
I think
suspense
he's creating
for the
drama.
documentary because he's supposed to make an
Sure,
announcement.
he is making a documentary.
Yeah, he's got a documentary
Yes, yeah,
about
yeah.
this, and he's going to make an
Yeah.
announcement that's going to be part of the documentary.
Yeah.
Is this just about the publicity?
Probably. And I
hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
I just
But the cool thing is, and I know we would probably disagree with this looking at it, but the Celtics are winning great games by controlling the tempo and not hucking up threes. Like they have consistently fewer threes, even though I still complain about it, than they have had in the past.
all right. Dog's waving us
All right.
off. I got to say before we go, I probably do owe a little apology to Joe Mazzulla because he has been coaching pretty well,
He has been.
and it's been a little bit of a different look.
Thanks
So,
for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.